One day, a gentleman, K. Ruggles, who we found out to be a genius, came into Clark Leaming. And he said, I want to work with you guys on a project. And we said, what? And he said, oh, I am a master at fiberglass. Fiberglass was pretty new then. Kay graduated as an engineer, University of Utah, went into the Navy, came out of the Navy, went to work for General Motors on a fiberglass to develop the fiberglass Corvette. He was one of the principals in the design and the fabrication. Very good, brilliant fellow, absolute genius. Well, after he didn't work for General Motors and he came home and had a wife and started having a family, one day, I didn't know him from Adam. He walked into Clark Leaming up on Foothill, introduced himself to me, and said, you know, there's some things I would like to do, and I'd like to do them with you, because they'd be really excellent design. That's my whole program. And you guys are designers, and you sell design things, and so you just may want to buy them from me. But I'd like to form some kind of a venture with you. Well, when we saw the things he was doing, which were wonderful, and this all made out of fiberglass, we did form a joint venture, and we called it Associated Design Group. And we were making fiberglass pots and fiberglass, talking about containers of all sizes, fiberglass benches, fiberglass furniture, outdoor furniture, basically. And he got the idea we should do bathrooms because bathrooms were becoming important. So Kay, and this is his genius, Kay said, I'm going to design some bathrooms that are kind of one piece or whatever. Well, he did that, and then how are we going to sell it? So we go to McCormick Place in Chicago, and McCormick Place houseware show is the biggest houseware show in the world. And we set up this one-piece bathroom. Everything, was just, actually there were two pieces, but the two pieces were bolted together. So half the bathroom's here, half the bathroom's here. So here's the tub and so forth, and here is the wash basin and so forth. And so we go to McCormick Place, to the housewares. Well, it was revolutionary, and nobody had seen it in the bathroom business to this extent. They'd seen a plastic tub and that, but they'd never seen anything like this. So they all came to our booth. What is this, you know? I remember the guys from Whirlpool came to the booth, and
Did you say Whirlpool?
Whirlpool. And they looked at it and so forth, and I said, do you mind if I ask you who you work for and what you do? And they said, oh, we're from Whirlpool. And the one said, I'm the CEO. And the other one said, I'm second in command of Whirlpool Corporation. And they were interested, you know, but then American Standard came, and they said, oh, wow, we need some of this because we just don't have any good design in our business. And so we'll talk with you. We'll talk with you later. Well, not long after that, got a call on the telephone from Bill Eberly. Bill Eberly was the CEO of American Standard. Bill Eberly said, you know what? We want to get in business with you guys. I said, yeah? He said, yeah, we're going to fly to Salt Lake City. I'm going to fly there. I have to leave shortly thereafter because I'm on the board of directors of Boise Cascade, so I have to fly out to Boise. Well, I'm going to leave there a couple lawyers and a couple of marketing guys. I'm going to leave there 5 or 6 people. And he said, we're going to form a joint venture. Wow, that's really interesting. And so we met him at the airport, and we're these 6 guys. Then he goes on to Boise, and these 6 guys said, we're gonna form a partnership, and you guys are gonna design this revolutionary bathroom. Well, about then, there was a big play in all the magazines and so forth about a better bathroom, more luxury bathroom, a bigger part of a home being the bathroom, more important part of the home being the bathroom. And so we started designing bathroom products. Well, I was made the sales manager for American Standard of the new bathroom concept. I was given an American Standard credit card that I could go any place I wanted to. I had no limit to how much I could spend. When I would go back to New York, and they had their own building across the street from the library, I had a room in the Roosevelt Hotel, which they just kept 4 or 5 rooms for people that were employed or joint ventures or whatever. The problem with that for me and my family is I was hoping to go there once a month. Well, I was going there once a week, and then often I'd get back to Salt Lake Airport, and there'd be a page. I'd go get the page, and I'd be back on Tuesday, and they'd say, you need to get back here Wednesday morning for a meeting. I'd turn right around, get on an airplane, go back to New York, come back again. I had my own hotel room. I didn't pay for that, of course, American Standard did. And then it got more intense. Then I was going back there 3 times a week. Betty would come out to pick me up at the airport, and there would be a page for me as I got off the airplane. I'd answer the page, and they said, you need to be back in New York tomorrow morning. I mean, Betty didn't like it at all. Sometimes going back and forth to New York 3 days in 1 week, because they didn't have these meetings planned. Like, so I'd go back, well, that's all we need. So go home, I'd go home, and they'd call up right one in the airport, hey, we need you again tomorrow. Well, that was pretty frustrating, but anyway, we did develop some exciting things. I was on the Today Show, and I was the national sales manager, and still had Clark Gleaming and all these other things. But I just took my paycheck from American Standard and gave it to Clark Gleaming, and then we just did our regular pay. The Playboy Hotel in London, they were building a large major hotel at the time, Playboy was. They knew we were doing custom bathrooms. They had seen them. They were excited about them. And they called me on the phone, and they said, you make bathtubs? Yes. You make bathtubs for American Standard? Yes. Well, we're just finishing the Playboy Hotel in London. And we got an idea we think would make our hotel better and particularly our rooms better. Could you build a tub that was heart-shaped, big enough for 2 people? And could you make it in bright red? I said, easy, no problem. We could do that for you. They said, well, we need it in just a couple weeks. I said, that's all, I think there were 450 bathtubs, 450 rooms, something like that. So anyway, we started producing these bathtubs as quick as we could, and we'd take them out the airport, put them on air freight, collect, ship them to them, and of course they'd pay the airfare bill, and they'd pay us. And I don't know where they got the money, but man, those bathtubs cost them a lot of money by the time they paid us and we knew we had a sugar daddy, for sure. The tub was heart-shaped, and so he was here and she was here. Now, I don't know where they went from there. I never figured that out, but she was in this part of the heart and he was in this part of the heart. Walt Disney decided to do a Disneyland in Florida. And there was a hotel called the Contemporary Hotel. There were different hotels, but we worked on the Contemporary Hotel. So we were to, so American Standard was going to be our hotel and all, and what we're going to do is we're going to do something revolutionary. We're going to build the bathrooms, which you're going to design in a factory. And when we put them in the rooms of the Disneyland Hotel, all the plumbers will have to do is hook up the hot and cold, because everything else is plumbed in the factory. And then we just have to set the waste for the toilet. And all the rest of the waste will all be the same and go down the waste pipe. So we had the person we work with at American Center was a guy by the name of George Martin. George Martin didn't have a creative bone in his body. He'd come from the Hoover Vacuum Company, and all he knew is about how a rotor turns and gets dust out of your carpet. Kay Ruggles was off the chart in creativity. I mean, he was unbelievable. Well, so we were to design the bathroom for the Disney Hotel. And so Kay Ruggles, of course, was the genius at that. I was actually the president of the joint venture, but he was the genius. And I worked closely with Bill Eberly, who was the president of American Standard. And but this George Martin was over, from an American Standard point of view, he was over their side. And it was a 50-50 deal. So we knew we had to design that. We knew Kay Ruggles was going to design it, a masterpiece. And so we got the assignment, and we had a week. We had Monday till Friday, I think, to meet with Disney. And the Disney department we worked with is a department they call Imagineering, which was their think tank of all the neat things that we're doing. Oh, we were supposed to meet with them on a Friday, and so we're starting on Monday. And I say to Kay, you gotta get this whole plan done and a model, and we got to get on the airplane and be there and make this meeting. Well, Monday, you didn't see him. I didn't see him at work, and this George Martin would call me. Where's Kay? I don't have the slightest idea where Kay is. I don't know. I don't have a clue. Well, is he working on that bathroom for Disney? Oh, I think he's thinking about it. I don't know how much work he's doing, but I'm sure he's thinking about it. Well, we got to get this thing going, and you're the one that has to do it, to get it going. I know you're not going to develop it, but you got to get Kay going. I said, yeah, I will. Well, Tuesday Kay didn't come in. Well, Wednesday Kay didn't come in. Every day George Martin called. Is Kay there? No. Has he got the bathroom design completed? I don't know. I don't know. He hasn't been here. I don't think so, but I don't know. He'd just go crazy. And so Kay on Wednesday came in. He had thought about exactly what the bathroom was going to be. He drew it up, but made a model of it. The model was, it was just fabulous. I mean, it was just beyond. So we take it down to Disney, and the Imagineering guy said, fabulous. Who came up with this? Well, it's Kay Ruckles right here. And they said, it's just perfect. So let's just proceed with that. And you guys make the bathrooms for every room in the hotel, which we did.
How many rooms?
I think there was about 400 rooms, something like that. And so we installed them, and the neat thing about it was the plumber came and he put, because it was made in the factory, he attached the cold water, he attached the hot water, and the drain went to, of course, below the toilet. Oh, they were gorgeous, and everybody loved them. We're getting ready for the grand opening.
Gotcha.
And so we go in, we check the water in the tub and in the basin and all, and we flush the toilet. And the toilet flows over with water. We go to the next room, we flush the toilet, it flows over. We go to the next, one more room, we flush the toilet, it goes over. We go back to the first room, we take the toilet, remove the toilet, and about 3 inches down in the waste pipe is a Turkish towel. Somebody has sabotaged us by putting that Turkish towel in. Everybody was so upset. So ultimately what we had to do is go and get the Turkish towels out of every one of those. We wanted to know who it is sabotaged us. Well, it finally led to the plumbers union because the plumbers were mad. They were really mad because instead of placing the tub and the toilet and hooking it all up and all their labor, all they had to do is just hook on the hot and the cold. And all the rest was done in the factory. They didn't like it at all. They were mad. Well, that ended that concept, unfortunately. Really too bad, because what we found out, they have a lot of power. Tremendous amount of power. The second thing we found out is these plumbers on a Friday evening, they go drink beer with the city plumbing inspector who approves their plumbing or whatever, make sure it's properly done. And they go drink beer on a Friday night, and they're good friends, you know? They're really good friends. So these plumbers and the plumbing inspector, you can't get around it. There's nothing you can do about it. So we just decided, we had tubs in that, and one room we put in a house. And we could get by with that, but not in a hotel. So Kay would bring these new projects that he developed, and they were drawn on the computer, every perfect. And one day, he came to my house, and he said, I want to show you my last development product. Well, fiberglass would give for the best designer of the year. They own Steuben Glass. Now, if you know Steuben Glass, but Steuben Glass's sculptures now are the most expensive. And they'd give him one as the best design of the year in fiberglass. And he won that every year. And it'd be about that tall, which would be worth a fortune, and it would be in a red leather case. So he comes to my house and he says, Howard, I'm showing my last. I said, I'd love to see it. Well, it was his obituary, it was his funeral plans, and that whole thing. And I said, what in the world is this? He says, this is my casket I've designed. I'll rebuild it. Here's how I'm going to run my funeral. I'm going to have it in the auditorium. I'm going to get everybody that comes will have a speaker, and they'll be able to talk. I've made my casket. It's out of wood, pine wood, like an old pine casket. And on a table next to it was all the colors of Pentels. And what I want everybody to do is just sign it and put any message you want on my